Hey y'all, welcome to For the Fans, where tonight we had just the most exciting episode of Big Brother that we have had all season long.
Oh yeah, spiciest episode I've
But
ever seen.
we are finally at our final three, so I'm excited to talk about the end game of Big Brother. And we got a little bit of a different crew here tonight because I've never gotten to podcast with Ryan. So, Ryan, one of our 5 PMers, welcome to the Thursday night eviction recap. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. This is my side alliance right here, but Kylie, you don't
Yeah.
know that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
TJ. Out. And as always, Kevin. Kevin, how are you?
What's up, guys? I'm here. I'm on the road, but I'm getting this done. Watch the episode, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about from it.
Boy, I mean, such an important episode. I mean, we probably couldn't have even had the season without it. And then
Correct.
tomorrow we get another one. I mean,
Tomorrow's
wow.
the recap, though.
I
We're
know.
not doing anything on the recap.
Yeah, we're not.
We don't
We're
need a
not
recap
recapping
recap.
the recap.
We're not recapping the recap. No,
We will not. But we're going to talk a little bit about tonight's episode, and then we're going to talk about the final three, where we think jury votes could go, who we think's going to be the winner, and probably have a few arguments here and there. So
Yeah.
let's jump in. All right. So we do immediately get a hint from Julie that there might be trouble in paradise.
I actually, before that, I love the fact that we get a hint from Julie that this episode is going to not have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Because she says from the top, we're going to figure out maybe there's some trouble in paradise. We're also going to figure out who MonTay's going to pick. And then we're going to talk to the jury. And then we're going to talk to the cookout.
We have so much filler for y'all.
Yeah. And not filler from the show because there's only 4 people in the house and 2 of them have been sleeping together. So that's kind of all that's been going on.
I mean, if there hadn't been trouble in paradise, we would have had no content this week.
Yes. It's been a lot of sleeping for those that don't know. I know we didn't get to do our normal Monday episode, but there was no reason to. They've literally just been sleeping and laying around all day long. And the first couple days over the weekend, MonTay and Taylor just had tons of sex. And Brittany has just been sitting and Turner has just been sitting.
Lots of card playing.
Lots of playing cards.
All right, but yep, so we get this hint from Julie. There has been trouble in paradise. I don't know if y'all had talked about it. I guess the last recap that we did would have been last week's eviction. And at that point in time, they were still in love. So, but this is a showmance that has fizzled and then kind of sparked back up and then fizzled. And, oh, gosh.
At the present moment, is back on.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It's back on again right now?
At the moment, yeah. But it's a mess. But Julie says there's trouble in paradise, and we get the scene. We get the scene. This is, for those that don't know, they broke up on Sunday. This all happened. Everything we saw in the episode is exactly what happened on Sunday, and the reason they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
So
I guess the one plus side is Taylor was already in the bathtub. So if you're gonna cry in the shower, you're already there. So, I guess that's the win.
Yeah, I mean, what an awkward breakup. Like, she's sitting in the bathtub. Hey, how you doing? We need to talk.
I mean, the reason they break up is just so ridiculous. MonTay says, just thinking out loud, man, I saw a whole person live for a year. That's crazy. And she's like, well, you didn't really see him live for a year. You've been in here for 3 months.
How dare you, Kevin? How dare you?
You bitch.
Yeah.
That is so insensitive of you to say a fact that I have been inside a house for 3 months and I don't know what happened outside of it.
I mean, like, I can understand, like, even if that does kind of like where he's like, okay, like, was that necessary? But I mean, is this really the basis for a breakup?
Hey, I just want to say, if either of you touch my headphones, this podcast is done.
I will snatch them straight from your head.
And then she fell asleep. He actually did fall asleep. So her taking them off, it could have got caught in the glasses. It stuck to them for a second. And then he's like, I can't believe this.
This is it. Too much. The audacity. And once again, like, this is something like I can even see where MonTay is annoyed with this. Like, first the comment, then you're like, I'm sleeping. There's no reason why you have to wake me up from a nice little nap here. Snatch the headphones off of my head. But once again, like, is this enough for a breakup?
The way he had talked about it, because I didn't see the actual clip, but I saw the discourse on Twitter. So then I went on the feeds and I watched him talking to Turner about it. He said she snatched him off his head. I thought it was like in an aggressive manner.
Yeah.
That was not an aggressive manner of taking those headphones off his head.
No, very gentle. She was trying not to pull the glasses off.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, he woke up. Yes, his glasses did come off. And like I said, I can understand him being annoyed. Like, I love to sleep like nobody's business. And if somebody wakes me up, it doesn't make me happy. But, like, there's so much of the game still to be played. And it's the most important part of the game where you have to get people to vote for you. And, MonTay and Taylor, as we're going to get into, probably are kind of battling it out here. And this impression that he leaves on Brittany could be basically a $750,000 mistake. Because,
as Sasha says here in the chat, she apologized for knocking off the glasses.
Right.
That was the extent of it. And then even when they're in the bathtub, she immediately takes responsibility for what happened. She apologizes instantly, says I was insensitive, and she doesn't just apologize. She acknowledges what she's apologizing for. Like, that was a grade A apology.
The thing is, she said it before MonTay brought it up. Like, she was in the bathtub and she said, hey, this thing, sorry about that. And MonTay said, no, this thing that you just said.
Just exudes grace like nobody I've ever seen. I mean, such a classy person. And for her to once again, after all the shit she's been through all season long, to sit there and take more piled on her. And she does acknowledge that in her DR session of like, this person that I'm supposed to have this, I mean, I'm having an intimate relationship with him, and he's going to be the one that, brings up these misconceptions about me from the beginning of the season. And
then validates them.
And plays into it now, like, after he knows me. I was like, girl, if you do not take Turner to that damn final two and snatch this away from MonTay, I'm gonna be disappointed. You can do it, Taylor. You're so close.
Well, before we get to that, after the scene, and MonTay says, I'm not going to stay up here in the HOH after all, and he removes all of his stuff and he leaves the HOH.
Yeah, he full on moves out.
He moves out. He moved out from her room for I think 2 nights, and I think by Tuesday they were back to cuddling and sleeping together again.
Yeah.
But after he moves out, we see in the episode that he's telling Turner. Turner has clocked it, if you will, but he kind of did. MonTay mainly just admits to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess MonTay has nothing to lose, right?
Well, no, MonTay does have something to lose. Turner has nothing to lose here. Like, Turner plays this perfectly. Like, he can tell that MonTay is upset. He could tell he was upset in the moment over the comment and then over the headphones. And so Turner is like, yeah, bro, you were completely justified. And that is how you play the game of Big Brother. Not hey, I'm going to break up with my showmance and piss off the person that, the final person that we're sending out that gets to actually talk to the jury. I'm going to shit on both of them right here at the end of the game.
Well, the reason I said though MonTay has nothing to lose is because Turner doesn't now take Taylor if he gets to the final two.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I don't think that changes anything.
So him admitting to the fact that they're like hooking up changes nothing for MonTay by telling Turner.
Right.
Because MonTay's still the one that chooses who goes home, right? So I guess him just coming out with it and just being like, yeah, man, can you believe that? That's what she did. I think, yeah, he has nothing to lose. He might as well just tell her.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree with that MonTay has nothing to lose. I feel like in this past week, he's just been so sloppy. Like, we've been watching MonTay all summer, and every single word that he said is always perfectly calculated. He always just says the right enough stuff so that people think that he's actually talking to them when he says nothing at all. Whereas now he's just blurting things out, and everyone else is MonTaying him. Like, Turner is doing the, oh, yeah, bro, I got you. Yeah, your girlfriend, she sucks. But by the way, final two, right? and Taylor's doing the same thing. She's going, oh, I'm mad at you, but also let me give you a smooch final two. And like, MonTay's just going around and just saying all the shit everywhere. He's just like, he's not trying anymore.
Right.
And it's, to me, that's really what he has to lose.
And he says, like he has, he resisted being in any type of showmance all season long because he was so focused on $750,000. And it's like he has lost the focus once he secured a final three spot. And it's like, no, you still, two of those people are going to be casting a vote. So you can't lose focus. I mean, it's fine. You don't have to worry about competitions for the rest of the week until, the final competitions. But so yes, your spot is secured, but you're still constantly playing for jury votes all the time. You have no time off. And so making an ass of yourself. And I wish that Taylor would have just told Brittany about their relationship. And I wish she would have told Brittany about him being a bitch to her and just laid it all out there because I mean, I think it's
well, like what good would that have done? I mean, it changes nothing.
Well, if Brittany goes back to the jury and says, look at the shitty thing that MonTay did, that's that. But I think that kind of defeats the purpose of Taylor's game. Because Taylor's whole story is that she's not the one who goes around and digs up personal shit. She's dealt with the personal shit, but she doesn't put that on other people.
Ryan.
So she stands straight through that. So I think that's her story.
At all. But I still wish she would have shit on him.
So I want to talk about this jury segment.
Okay, let's get into it.
Because that was basically it. That's how it went. We got that. They break up. We go right to the jury segment. Mm-hmm. We get three people coming to jury. We get Terrence first, whatever. Michaels follows him. They give Turner credit, but then they give MonTay a ton of credit for this move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everybody that they're talking to, it seems like they're downplaying Turner and really praising MonTay. Like MonTay has a lot of respect from the jury at this point in time. And it's like, okay.
It's an interesting thing because, I figure this would be a good point to start talking about. Let's talk about their games a little bit. Let's break in right here. For those that don't know, Brittany goes home. Shocker. But let's talk about their games, right? Because with this jury segment, I feel like we got a lot of content. Like they're praising MonTay, talking a little bit about Turner, and then Taylor got like no content here.
Nothing
whatsoever.
No thoughts on them since basically half the jury has joined.
Correct. And I wonder, has it changed? Is it locked in? Where are the thoughts? Right? So playing through it, MonTay has not really done much, in my opinion, in this game. He didn't do. He kind of hid behind Michael. Michael made all the moves, and MonTay wasn't like throwing comps. He was trying to win them. He just couldn't beat Michael. Michael was just too good. So with Michael being gone, MonTay now becomes the biggest threat. But what game does MonTay actually have? What can he speak to?
I think MonTay can speak towards the social game aspect of that. And I think social, like, there's a big difference between being social and playing a social game. And it all has to do with what you say and how you say it and how it sort of affects other people and how you get other people to do what you want. So when MonTay talks to people, he talks a lot, but says nothing. So that's his way of talking to people who he's not working with and still building good rapport and good relations with them without actually giving any of his cards away. However, with the people who he's actually working with, he can build those game relations, talk that strategy, and he goes in depth with it. So although no, he hasn't necessarily been the one winning challenges and then sending people home himself, he is in every single room when it happens. And that is important. His social game is navigating him to those positions. None of these moves happened without him knowing. None of these movements happen without his approval. He's there every step of the way.
But I have to disagree. I have to disagree because when they get to merge, he basically stops talking.
Merge, hold the hell up.
When they get to jury, they basically stop talking. He like stops talking to Jasmine and Indy, like full stop. He no longer speaks to them. He has like no reason to because of where they are when they get to jury and how the leftovers have a commanding numbers. He basically stops talking to them. He has no real relationship with Alyssa. Kyle, he talked to Kyle. He talked to Joseph, obviously. All of his talks to Terrence were mainly just like shitting on Taylor. But those were, I guess, important talks for Terrence, so that's fine. He doesn't really talk any game with Michael. He didn't really talk any game with Brittany.
Because they were going to work together until Turner and Michael turned on him.
No, they're going to work together as of Dire Fest, and that was because Michael's already aligned with two of the other people. Might as well have Monty come on in too, but it wasn't like a one-on-one.
But then they also, once Turner got back in, it was supposed to be Monty, Turner, Michael going against the girls. And so,
but that was just the week of Michael.
That didn't last very long.
So that was the week of 6. So he doesn't really talk to Brittany, doesn't talk any game with Brittany. So is this social game actually good?
I think his social game is good in that he's kind of, like they make those charts of like good evil, chaotic evil, and all that stuff. I think that Monty is kind of like a very neutral person in that he doesn't rub anybody really the wrong way. Nobody comes out of the house and is like, Monty, that piece of shit. We might think that at times, but nobody that's leaving the game, I feel like, has any really strong bad feelings towards him. And the only person that would be Michael. And we don't really get Michael's thoughts on Monty so much per se, but we get Michael's thoughts on Turner in that, hey, I'm not impressed that Turner doesn't own the move. Like, at least Monty is going to own it. And that's what I want from somebody that I'm going to give my vote to. And so I think that Monty's neutrality is a benefit to him. And that, kind of hitting on what Ryan said, he's, immediately in Post Pack. He's in the Pound. He's in the Leftovers. There's not any alliance that formed throughout the season that Monty wasn't a part of that actually mattered.
Well, the five swatters, right? He's not in that. They tried to backdoor him. Michael's working with him. That doesn't really work. He's not. He knows about all the alliances, obviously, so that's good. But he's not necessarily in all the alliances.
He's not in all of them, but he's in all of the ones that matter.
That mattered. This is true. Now, in this jury segment, we get Michael explaining what happened. They go, "Ooh, Monty, fantastic move with the veto. Well, Monty barely beat Michael. This is a great move for Monty. Woo, woo, woo." And then we get Alyssa coming in, and Alyssa says, Monty, I knew Monty wasn't going to keep me, so 1-1 vote. Monty voted me out. We see Jasmine and Michael give props to Monty for this move. We then hear Alyssa say, well, Monty wasn't going to turn on Taylor because Taylor spent the last 3 days in Monty's bed. And Joseph's face is shocked. Just cannot believe to hear that his baby boo, Tay Tay, was spending all this time with MonTay. Do you think?
Heartbroken. He was heartbroken.
Do you think that he could still get Joseph's vote? Monty can still get Joseph's vote for being Mr. Steal Your Girl?
Yeah, I think he can. Because, I mean, I am of the personal opinion that if Joseph's going to be mad at somebody, he just needs to be mad at Taylor. Because him and Taylor are the
if Joseph
ones
needs to
that
be
have
mad
the
at someone, he needs to be mad at Alyssa. Because Alyssa's the one that told
Mhm.
Taylor that Joseph was talking all this shit in Dyer Fest, which then pushed her towards Monty.
Okay,
So if he needs to be mad at
could
anyone,
but you know, ultimately,
right? Did you know this,
Taylor's a
Ryan?
good girl. She
Yeah, I
gets
knew about
to
that
make her decision.
part.
And
But that's what separated her from Joseph. She was steady and strong, waiting for
Right.
Joseph. But Alyssa
But-
comes in and says all this shit, like literally is like, "Oh, Taylor,
Well, it's
Joseph
not
said he was
just
playing
Alyssa.
you."
It's Alyssa, Kyle, Turner,
Yeah.
Karen, all of
Yeah.
them.
And so all those Dyer Fest people are talking this shit and saying that Joseph was like basically gloating about playing Taylor, which like ruined her for like 3 days because she was like, I thought this dude actually cared about me. I thought we were actually friends, but he's been treating me like everyone else in this house has been treating me. So
Yeah, no,
F
I
this
mean,
dude.
there's definitely some stuff that they're gonna have to discuss when they get out. But in the big scheme of things, like Taylor does have to make the decision, and she chose to be intimate with Monty. And I don't think that Joseph is going to have that factor into his jury vote either way. I think if he feels that Taylor's played the best game, he's going to vote for Taylor. If he feels Monty's played the best game, he's going to vote for Monty.
Ryan, would you let it factor into your jury vote if you knew that your best friend was intimate with your significant other option?
That's a tough question. If it's both of them, what do you do? But yeah, I'm in the point where I think Joseph is somebody who would like to say he would be impartial, just vote on games, but you can't ignore the emotional side there as well. So yes he'll be going game.
But
Taylor?
he did fuck my girl. Like that is.
And y'all think that
And then he's just
more
comparing
mad
moves,
at
like Joseph's
Monty?
moves, Monty's moves. It's about comparing moves, okay?
Ryan, who do you think Joseph is going to be more mad at in this situation, Monty or Taylor?
Who wouldn't he be more mad at?
I think he's madder at Monty because Monty's supposed to be his boy.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be.
I'm sorry,
my
I'm
bro.
mad at my significant other. I am not the type
But
of person.
that's
If
the
you're-
thing,
Okay.
though.
if
Joseph
you're
and Taylor were
person-
flirting for like 1 week, and
If
then they
your
got split into Dyer
person
Fest. You can't be too
cheats
mad
on
about
you,
that. It's not really cheating. They were
Thank you,
okay. They were not
Tasha, in the
dating.
chat, Taylor. This is Joseph can be mad at Taylor because Taylor
Listen.
is his boo, and if you're significant, not that they were even committed to each other, so Taylor can
That's
do
the
whatever he
point.
wants.
Yeah.
That's why you're madder at Monty because
No.
we didn't like you knew I liked her, dog. Like what the hell? Like that
No.
is.
But anyways, so if your significant other cheats on you, you don't get mad at the person that they cheated
If-
with. You get mad at the person
If
that
they
you
were
are
together, yeah, but like he
you're
knew there was a crush there.
emotionally involved with, and he is not emotionally involved with Monty. He's emotionally involved with Taylor.
Okay, but like,
So-
let's say Kevin is my man here. We go way back. We're homies. We're besties. And Kylie, I'm just like head over heels for you.
Well,
And I
Yeah.
tell Kevin all
everyone
about
knows.
this.
All right.
You and
told
I
me
are
all
flirting
about it.
back and forth.
Ryan,
I go on vacation.
Did I smash Kylie out? That's a
I
terrible.
go on vacation for
situation.
1 week, and Kevin goes behind my back.
See, you're mad at me.
but
You're
y'all
mad at
don't
me.
go way back. Y'all don't go back no further than we go back.
We go back like 6 weeks. Like we already knew. They already knew. That's
Yeah.
I'm
We got
right.
that day one
Boys.
alliance going.
Well, you know what? I was gonna say, boys, y'all are wrong, which I do think y'all are wrong, but we are talking about another man, and so y'all have the best insight into his mindset. I
think
don't. I can't think.
if
like
I'm
a man.
Joseph,
I'm
I'm
not
madder
fucking
at
irrational.
Monty. If I'm Joseph, I'm madder at I'm mad at Taylor because I want to know what happened. I thought we had a connection here, but I guess I read it wrong. But Monty, dog, like you knew how
But
I was.
I
Like I was
think
down
that-
bad.
I think I would feel hurt by Taylor, mad at Monty, and that's
Yeah,
how I
yeah,
view
yeah,
the
yeah.
situation.
I think Joseph he looked devastated.
Devastated.
And
that was rough.
And I think that he's devastated because of what Taylor did. And so I think that he's going to have more strong feelings about it towards Taylor. But I think ultimately he is going to vote based off a game.
Well, speaking of game, right? Let's talk about Turner's, because they all kind of like gave Turner a little credit for like winning the comps, because Jasmine did, but she did throw in there that she knew he ate the muffin, and Michael did throw salt on Turner's game, talking about he didn't even take credit for the move,
right,
to take him out.
So not only does he not take credit for that move, but then we know that he doesn't, give Alyssa the heads up. So everybody that he could have potentially, sent to the jury house with a good impression, he has terrible jury management. Terrible. And
I think
you all know that I've kind of been like on the Turner train for a while, and I'm just like,
I don't want to say terrible. I want to say
terrible.
Bad. No, it's not terrible. It is bad though. It is bad. Because when we say terrible, that's a different level. Like it was bad. He made a couple missteps at the end. The Jasmine thing, Jasmine was never gonna vote for him anyway. So like the muffin thing is funny. And that's great.
Funny. I love that.
But the move with Alyssa and the move with Michael, those are bad moves. That's why I don't say terrible. Moves. They were bad moves. Those were both bad moves. Because he still had good jury management with Terrence, and he had great jury management with Kyle, as he sent Kyle home himself, right? Like he tells Kyle, this is out of my hands. I can't really do anything. He punches pilots it and like tells him, I can't really do nothing, washes my hands with it. And the Kyle move is like, so he doesn't have terrible jury management, but he's bad with Alyssa and he's bad with Michael. And those are two bad moves. I agree with that.
I agree with that. And the hard thing about those ones is that it's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the jury's thinking of more recently, because they're just sitting in that house for like a month waiting for a new tea. And if the new tea is that Turner is terrible, then that's fresh on their mind.
It's piping hot, baby. That tea is piping hot.
Yeah, so let's talk about a scenario where Turner wins the final 3 HOH, because I don't think that Taylor takes him. I don't think MonTay takes him.
So currently there's 3 people left. Turner plans on taking MonTay at this present moment. Mm-hmm. From what we understand, MonTay plans on taking Taylor. And from what we understand at this present moment, Taylor plans on taking MonTay. Yeah. From everything they've said. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's wrong, what's false. I don't know that Turner doesn't do the math and think he could beat Taylor. I don't know that Taylor doesn't do the math and then just cut MonTay to make sure that what happened with Xavier doesn't happen to her. You know what I'm saying? So MonTay, though, he cuts Brittany for great reasons, because Brittany is never going to take him to the final.
Right. And to speak on Brittany, let's speak on Brittany's eviction before we get too far down the rabbit hole.
Brittany had a fantastic week. She had a fantastic week.
She said everything she needed to say. She fought hard. Everything she said to MonTay was accurate, in that, yes, MonTay can absolutely beat Brittany in the end. He can probably beat Brittany in any of these competitions. But in the off chance that Brittany wins, she doesn't take MonTay. And so for that reason alone, he has to evict her.
Mm-hmm. And when the final comps tend to be based off of memory, based off events of the game, that's the stuff that Brittany lives for. Mm-hmm. So although Brittany hasn't been a big threat in the past comps, I think the final 3 would have been her time to shine. And I think MonTay knows that as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And that's why she's dangerous, which is understandable, right? Mm-hmm. We understand that that's what makes her the most dangerous player in the game for him. So she has to go. But Brittany made some great points to me when she was like, Turner, it may beat you. He won't, but it was a great thing to put out there, mm-hmm. that was a possibility, especially if you're doing the math wrong, right? If you're counting jury votes and you're like, yeah, it was Turner's HOH, Michael might vote for him. Terrence might vote for him.
Kyle
right there. Alyssa right there might vote for him. And then if Brittany's telling you that you're doing this speech to Brittany and Brittany's the one you're cutting, you have to assume that Brittany's going to vote for him too. That's 5 votes. That math doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like if he did that math, it doesn't work. But it was, like we said, when you look at it a little bit broader, if you don't want to look at that granular, you want to look at it broader. Brittany doesn't take me ever.
Right.
There's literally no way.
Not
Brittany
when the other
takes me.
option is Taylor.
Right. And so I can't even start to look at that option of Brittany because Brittany doesn't take me at all. Whereas Turner might. It's the right move by MonTay, but I say Brittany had a great week because Brittany was bringing all of the facts and she was presenting them intelligently because that's all she could do, and she gave her best effort.
Yeah, agreed.
I thought that was fantastic.
Well, good season, Brittany.
Yeah, you know what? It was a good season for Brittany. Brittany had some ups and some downs. She spilled a lot in the beginning. People thought she would spill later, but the spilling in the beginning kind of helped her because it put her as someone that had like loose lips, if you will, which then allowed her to like show that she could keep secrets. Yeah. People feel like she misplayed the week that Michael was HOH this last time. And I don't think she did. As she said, Michael knew all the things that she was doing. She been told him. He forgot or something because he thought she was being messy. But she said, since I'm playing for second.
He had to take that opportunity to say whatever he needed to say to try to stay. I don't think he forgot it.
No, I'm not talking about there. I'm not talking about there, though. He was talking to the camera during that week, and he's like, I don't know what you're doing, Brittany. You're too messy out here. He didn't tell her about the guys' alliance, the gentleman's agreement. He didn't tell her about all these things during that week because he thought Brittany was being too chaotic. But the chaos was intended to try to help save him.
Yeah.
And he knew that. So, and I thought that was odd. I do agree that though when he's on the block, he has to throw her under the bus. That makes sense. But it was just the chaos that she stormed up, and then it ended up being a red flag for her, and ended up making them look at her. That was all done in service of Michael. And like when players do things to try to help other players, it's definitely something I respect, and it's something that I think is a good move, because if you're doing something chaotic, but it's like in service of someone else's game and your own game, I'm like, look at that. You get a point from me. It's something that I can look at a little bit closer and say, look, that was a 5D chess move. You know what I'm saying?
Agree. I think a lot of people think that if you lie, that's what makes you a snake in these games. But I think it's what you do with the lie that defines it. You can lie to save someone just as much as you can lie to get somebody out. I think being the hero or villain this season is more so defined by what your actions accomplish rather than how you act in general.
I agree.
I love that.
I agree.
Deep thoughts.
I agree. So we haven't talked about Taylor's game. The jury didn't talk about it either. I think what Taylor did in this game is respected by the jury. I think Joseph is still a Taylor vote, even with the moves MonTay's making down the stretch.
I don't know. I don't know how his vote goes, honestly.
She has the best story.
Oh, yeah.
By far. She's been on the block 5 times.
So let's talk about the two scenarios. We've talked about Turner. Do we think Turner can beat either person?
I don't.
Which is a shame, because I feel like he's played one of the best games. I think he's played better than MonTay, but I don't think he's a winner.
Has he, though? Because all of Turner's moves were predicated by someone else. The leftovers is formed. He was dead set on getting Taylor out during the week of the leftovers. The leftovers were made. They come in there, they being Kyle and MonTay, and they say, bro, let me tell you about all this information about Poe's pack. We need to go for Amira, because Amira is too smart. And he goes, wow, that's a great idea. Let's do that instead. Yeah, he said first he said
At
y'all
first
should do
he
it next
said
week.
y'all should do it next week.
Yeah. And then they were like, no, we can do the thing, the pound, pooch, woo, 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 woo. And then we can just go now. And so they go, okay, cool. So that move is done by Kyle and Joseph and MonTay. Then his second HOH, he is like, I want to go for Taylor again. Or backdoor Michael. Michael wins the veto and they go, bro, Kyle did the stuff, man. And he's like, oh, man. Wow. You know what? We need to get Kyle out now. Don't take me out, though. If I do this, I'll do this for y'all. Because, wow, what Kyle did was pretty terrible, mainly because he included me in this white alliance that I don't want to be in. So we got to get rid of Kyle. Cool. Third HOH, she's like, cool. Brittany's got to go. And they're like, MonTay's like, no. This is our chance to get Michael. And he goes, you know what? It is our chance to get Michael. So,
yeah. I mean,
what plans did he have?
I've enjoyed the character development we've gotten from Turner. He went from somebody I did not even care to see play at all to possibly my favorite this season. And so I am sad because, like I said, I had jumped on the Turner train a few weeks back, and it pains me that I think he has no chance of winning. But let's talk about the scenario of Taylor and MonTay, because that's the interesting one. So let's say that it's Taylor that wins the final HOH. She cuts Turner and takes MonTay. First, do we think that's what she's going to do?
I don't know. I don't know that she takes MonTay because she thinks MonTay's playing a really good game. Let's count the votes. Okay, so she's sitting next to Turner, right? And if she's sitting next to Turner,
I think she wins unanimously.
It's not unanimous.
Not unanimous.
Terrence will never
Yeah.
vote for Taylor.
Yeah.
And Kyle probably won't vote for Taylor either.
Oh, I think
Taylor
Kyle will.
gets Kyle, Terrence, and Alyssa.
He gets Jazz. You think Turner does?
Yeah.
No, I think Turner.
I don't think it's Alyssa. I don't think it's Alyssa.
Really?
No.
Because Alyssa's still salty about not being told.
She's got 3 days.
I think Turner gets Terrence. Indy is going to vote for Taylor.
Jasmine votes for Taylor. Indy votes
in that circumstance, Joseph is voting for Taylor. Kyle is voting for Taylor.
Is Kyle?
I don't know.
Terrence is.
Turner. Let's get, for the sake of the argument, Kyle votes for Turner. Terrence votes for Turner. But Michael then votes for Taylor. Alyssa votes for Taylor. Brittany votes for Taylor. MonTay could be salty. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He votes for Turner. That's 3 votes for Turner. 6 for Taylor.
Taylor wins.
That's a winner right there.
Right.
I think she does the math. I think she sits there. She does the math.
But does she know? She doesn't know that she's got Jasmine and Indy's votes. And so she could say, oh, like Jasmine has to choose between me that she hated and Turner that she hated. So like,
I think if she sits next to Turner, she says, by the way, Jasmine, Turner ate your muffins.
I think one more thing though is if Taylor is the one who wins final HOH, I think she votes into which of the other final 2 is more likely to vote for them when she votes them out. And I think Turner is definitely more likely to vote for MonTay than MonTay is to vote for Turner.
Yeah.
So if I'm choosing, who's more likely to vote for me here? I think Taylor goes, MonTay's more likely to vote for me than Turner is. So that's one more vote that I have a better chance of getting.
Yeah, I love that. I love that thought. All right, so let's say it is her and MonTay at the end. We've got Jasmine voting
for Taylor.
I don't know. I'm not 100% in that circumstance unless some of like what MonTay has done comes to light, because I think that Taylor has redeemed herself a lot in Jasmine's eyes. And I think Jasmine's a lot higher on Taylor than she was. But are the moves that MonTay made in the game in terms of getting out Michael.
Here's
And
the question, though: Does Monty take Taylor in the scenario, or does Taylor take
this
Monty?
is talking about the scenario of Taylor taking Monty.
Okay, so if Taylor takes Monty, I think Jasmine gives Taylor her vote because that means she won that final HOH.
Ryan, what do you think?
So I'm hesitant to. I think Jasmine votes on two things. She's voting on the power of friendship and then who won the most competitions, kind of. I think she's very much so. She doesn't look at how the things happen. She just looks at the facts. This happened. This person won HOH. This person went out on their HOH. And I think that's how they view game. And they don't look in. She doesn't listen to all the alliances or the side things that happened between them. It's were you HOH? Did this person go home? How did you vote? Is all the game that she looks at. Whereas I also think that there's a larger personal part of that. And in the house, I don't think she had a relationship with Monty pretty much at all the entire time. Where she didn't really have one with Taylor either, but she is part of the Taylor fan club. So I think she looks at Monty. Oh, Monty did this thing. He won more HOHs. Michael went out because he won the veto. That's her thing. Do I vote game? And then does she go, do I vote person, voting for Taylor as the strong role model of pretty much the entire season? And with Jasmine, it's does she decide that she thinks she's voting game, or does she decide that she's thinking who's the right person? And that's where it is. It's her perspective on what those two things
So
are.
who is she voting for?
I was trying to avoid the question. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Taylor. I think Jasmine waits a minute and goes, you know what, screw the game, and then votes for Taylor. And I think that's how Jasmine votes.
I'm really on the fence in this scenario because I think she's going to be heavily influenced by others.
I think Jasmine votes for whichever one of the final two wishes her a happy birthday year. And I think that's what decides her
if
vote.
anybody is going to stroke an ego in any type of way, Taylor is going to. I think Taylor will handle the questions better. I mean, my gosh, this is, the final jury questioning, which I think they've already got their minds made up by that point anyways, but Taylor is going to freaking kill the jury questioning.
I agree. I think the difference between Taylor and Monty, they're both good at speaking. Monty's good at talking and not saying things. Taylor is very good at saying things and pointing out points. Monty avoids the points. Taylor goes bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
And I think
all the points. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll throw Jasmine into Taylor's column. What about Indy? I think Indy is a vote for Taylor.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because she literally said on her way out that she's voting based off of the power of friendship. So
yeah, and I just don't think she has any relationship with Monty. I think she's also been one that's come around so much on Taylor. So I think that if Taylor's there, she votes for Taylor. What about Joseph in this situation? Where does his vote go?
Do I vote for my girl or the dude that's fucking my girl?
I'm going to be honest. I think, Joseph, I think he's going to vote for Monty.
Not if the homie is smashing, man.
I think he's going to vote for Monty.
Is your reason the power of friendship? Because I'm noticing a theme.
If the homie smashing my girl, I'm not voting for the homie. We're going to have to talk about it. I'm voting for my girl. We're going to talk about that later. I'm Joseph. I'm voting for Taylor.
I think Joseph as a person, when he came onto the show, he was yes, he's a big fan of the show. Yes, he's a good strategist. Yes, he's a strong player. But every time you hear him talk about why he's there, he said that he's here to represent something. And he's here to show this is what I stand for. This is what I represent. I think Taylor stands for things. Whereas Monty is a great player, but he doesn't have something that he stands for. And I think Joseph is here for that experience.
I get that.
Well, I'm just thinking that the type of player that Joseph is he's extremely loyal, and he was loyal to Taylor and to Monty, but I think he was loyal to Monty first. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I feel like Monty has the edge for Joseph.
I think that's a good point.
But majority wins. Okay, Kyle.
Kyle,
Monty, all
Kyle.
day, every day, twice on
Monty.
Sundays. He's voting for Monty.
Terrence. Monty.
All day, every day. He hates Taylor for whatever reason.
Yeah. Michael is another interesting one. Michael's interesting because obviously we know that he is like Team Taylor. That's his girl. They've played the game closely together. But Michael's also a super fan. And I think he can love Taylor's story and realize that we all love Taylor's story. But does he think that Monty played the better game by getting him out?
5 times on the block.
Yeah.
Brittany's gonna come and tell him that she's voting for Taylor. Taylor tried to save her. Michael's going to vote for Taylor.
Yeah, I think
basically.
I lean Taylor, but I think he's,
I think he does fairly consider it. I think he does listen to what they have to say and then decide based off of game. I do think that Michael, as the highest veto winning player of all times, is looking at big numbers. He's an analytical guy. He likes the numbers. 5 times on the block is the most impressive never that any of them have. And if he's trying to evaluate social game, then surviving the block is a way to do it.
Alyssa, I think she votes Taylor.
100%.
Yeah.
Brittany, Taylor. Sorry, I couldn't even find the mute button. So sorry.
And then Turner votes for Monty.
What's our count?
So in that scenario, Taylor wins 6-3.
Oh, let's go.
But we had 2 that I lost on, being Joseph and Jasmine. If they swing and vote for Monty wins 5-4.
So you're telling me that Jasmine, who was in an alliance called the Girls, excluded.
Taylor is not a girl.
Excluded Taylor.
She's not a girl's girl. She's not one of the girls.
So
why? Because she was upstairs.
There's a chance for her to.
I mean, I think it's
for the first black winner.
She might end up voting for Taylor. I think that she is definitely one of the swing votes, though. I don't think it's a slam dunk in Taylor's corner.
In the election, Nevada is considered a swing state, but it almost always votes blue in the last 4 elections. Is Jasmine a swing state like that? Is Jasmine a swing state like that? You're pretty sure she's still technically a swing state.
I don't know.
But
I really
she
don't.
probably.
Jasmine is such a wild card. I don't know.
Listen, chat. You guys let us know, who do y'all think Jasmine's going to vote for? Because I think Jasmine, in a situation where Taylor is versus Monty and Taylor has taken Monty, let us know who you think Jasmine is going to vote for. Because because of all of the stuff, black woman, she started getting a little bit closer to her at the end. Monty was still freezing her out when she was on the block. I think those things have Jasmine voting Taylor. Tasha right here in the chat says Taylor. She thinks she's voting Taylor. I agree. I think that and so even if it's 5-4, she's got it with that vote right there. Let's say Joseph votes for Monty. I just couldn't see Jasmine voting for Monty against Taylor.
I don't know. I can see her going either way. That's all I'm saying. I'm basically just trying to be devil's advocate here, in that I think it's a really, really close vote. We either get a 6-3, 5-4 vote for, I think Taylor wins 6-3, or I think Monty wins, or Taylor. Either one could win 5-4. I don't think Monty gets more than 5 against Taylor, but I do see the possibility that he can get 5.
Okay, and then against Turner, it's a dog walk, right? I mean, Monty sweeps probably.
Yeah, I think he sweeps.
The tricky thing though is not with Taylor and not with Monty and Turner, but the thing with Taylor is, I think that if she's in the final 2, I think she wins. I don't think she gets there. I honestly don't, and because based off of her competition record, she hasn't been particularly good at most of the knowledge questions about the days. She's not really good at most of the physical ones. She held on the wall for longer, but that was because all the other guys who were more physical were physically heavier. So unless it's literally holding yourself up onto something,
Well, I mean,
and
I
I think
think there's a
Turner could
great
win that
chance she
too.
does win round 1 tonight. You know, I think I guess it's tonight, huh? Yeah.
I don't think she wins the
wins.
competition, so I don't think she's deciding. And I think
I
the
do.
other two people look
she
at each
wins
other and go,
I think she
Taylor's
wins
kind of
part
scary
1
in this room.
tonight. I think MonTay wins part 2. Taylor versus MonTay. I think MonTay wins and takes Taylor.
I'm not too sure about that. I feel like, especially with how on and off again their relationship is. But no, that aside, I still sort of see him, based off of the things that I've seen him leaning towards taking Turner to the end.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's gonna take Taylor. Kevin, how do you see the final 3 HOH playing out?
This past week, he's been telling Taylor he's taking her to the final 2.
Yes, he's also been telling Turner, "I'll take you to the final 2."
No, that's what I was about to say.
No, he hasn't.
He
really
has not told. He hasn't said. He hasn't said he's taking him to the final 2. Turner's been like, "Hey, bro, I'm taking you to the final 2," and then MonTay's like, "I know, man. Me too." And like that's how he's been this whole time with Turner. He has not said once to him, "Final 2, we're doing it." He's been telling him, "You're good."
I think he takes it, but in terms of the competitions, who do you think wins part 1?
Part 1's the endurance one usually, right?
Yeah, part 1's normally something physical. Normally endurance.
It's usually endurance.
I'm leaning towards Turner.
It might be. I think Taylor takes part 1.
I think she does.
I think Taylor takes part 1.
Like it could be the disc spinning one.
But what if it's a spooky endurance one?
Then Taylor's out.
Round 2, typically physical with the days, or some type of memory comp of events.
I think that's MonTay's.
Yeah. And then part 3 is the what the bleep or jury questions.
I really don't like it. So what did this jury say after they were evicted? I hate those questions because it's literally just a guessing game. I like this, like on day 27, what happened to this? I prefer those ones because it's like you can actually do something about it, whereas you're just guessing between 2 phrases that the production team clearly decided to make difficult.
Since All Stars, they have done the final 3 one more kind of like that, where they've done like, did MonTay say that, or did Terrence say Taylor looked like a hoe on a straw before or after Turner ate Jasmine's muffin?
So I prefer those actually, because when you do the days one, the final 4 was a day's competition. So
I guess my point wasn't necessarily like the days thing, but I'm referring to like in BB17 when the question was like, after this jury member was evicted, we asked them a question. Did they respond? Oh,
my favorite part of the season was.
Yeah, like that stuff where you could tell because it didn't happen in the house while you were there, and they had literally had a month to reflect on it outside the house. That's the stuff I can't stand. If it's like, did this happen before or after this, or who did Zingbot roast first, or things like that happen in the house? I like.
Yeah, I like that better. I just don't like it when it's like a day's comp, like on. In what the bleep? Who Brittany won with a blah blah blah. I don't like that because it's like if you know your days already, like you already won the final 4 veto, you're probably gonna win this one too if you're sitting there.
Or like name the comp or something like that.
Yeah,
anything like that I'm fine with, as long as it happened physically inside of the house.
So my personal opinion, I think MonTay's gonna win. And I don't want him to.
We just did the math, and we just if he's sitting next to Turner, he wins.
I don't. Okay, so here's the thing. I think MonTay wins the final 3 HOH.
Okay.
And in my personal opinion, with him winning the final 3 HOH and with the game moves that he had and with the relationships that he has, I think MonTay squeaks out a win against Taylor or sweeps Turner. And I don't like it. I want MonTay to win the least of the 3.
But all 3 of them are deserving winners.
I agree with that. This is a good final 3.
They're all 3 deserving winners. But I want MonTay to win the least. And I don't hate MonTay, but I want the other 2 to win more. Like, Turner just has been a fun character. Taylor has had the greatest redemption arc in the history of ever.
Speaking of the greatest redemption arc, make sure you guys go to cbs.com/bbvote and vote for Taylor to be America's favorite player. If you're not voting for Taylor, that's not the right website. Go to a different website. But if you're going to vote for Taylor, you need to go to that website and vote. Make sure your email is in there so that way you can vote up to 10 times. Give the girl some money because she had to put up with a lot of bullshit. If y'all didn't remember, Daniel Durston used to be on the season, and that dude is a piece of trash. Basura. So make sure you go out there and you vote because Taylor deserves it and Daniel's terrible.
Agreed.
Yeah, these are straight facts.
I
voted for Taylor an hour ago.
I think Taylor wins the America's Favorite House Guest by a landslide. But right before we came on, I was, scrolling through Facebook and not on the Big Brother page because we know that those are just all casuals, but in a Facebook group, which I feel like if you're joining groups and you're talking about Big Brother on the daily, that you're probably a little more than a casual. And I was seeing a lot of Turner's name. I was like, wow, that really surprises me.
Last I checked this.
I really like Turner, and he probably is my favorite, but I didn't think that a lot of people really felt that. And so I was like, wow, okay. So maybe Turner ends up in the top 3.
Last I checked, I saw Michael high up on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah.
But I checked that before the double. So
So who do we think is the top 3 for America's Favorite House Guest?
Taylor, Joseph, Kyle.
Oh,
really?
Damn, no, I don't agree with that. I think it's Taylor, Joseph, Michael.
I don't know where you're getting Joseph from, but I think Taylor and Michael. I like Joseph a lot, but I don't think he's going to be anyone's favorite. I think he's like everybody's like 3rd favorite, but I don't think he's anyone's favorite. And that's my opinion on Joseph.
Look, he just got his heart broken on national television. He's going to get some sympathy.
Okay, very, very fair. But half the cast was hot. So
I think it's going to actually be Taylor, Turner, and Kyle.
Okay, wow. I don't think Kyle will be up there.
I think Kyle's going to be up there because there's a lot of people that feel like Kyle got a raw deal. And I don't like it.
I don't think you will, but who the hell
knows? I hope all those people, when they're like, all right, Big Brother, I'm never gonna watch again. I hope all of them turn off the TV so that they don't know where the website is, so they can't go vote. That's what I hope happens.
All right. Well, those are our predictions. Kevin, you predict that Taylor win no matter what?
Yes. Taylor,
I predict a MonTay win in 2 scenarios and a Taylor win in the 3rd. Huh?
If she's sitting there, she's winning.
And I'll be Team Turner just to be different.
Oh, okay.
There you Love it. Ryan, will you be available Monday evening?
Monday evening? I'll see you all there.
Perfect. So the 5 p.m.ers will be back on Monday, along with Kylie. Will you be able to be there? Oh, no, Kylie wrapping up the season?
It's because we voted her out already.
Yeah. Well, we'll have the 5 p.m.ers there. Hopefully Sheldon can join. Kylie can't make it. We're going to be wrapping the season. Woo!
It's been a ride.
It's been a ride.
And Kylie, just as an update, going into finale night, Sheldon has Taylor, CJ has Turner, and I have MonTay.
And I had Alyssa, and I'm out. So
and you're out.
I also called Alyssa day 1.
Bad
work
pick
out
by
very
both
well.
of us. Bad pick by
Yeah.
both of us.
She was so promising week 1, and then she just decided not to play the rest of the game.
Found Kyle and changed everything.
Yeah.
So join us on Monday. We will be going on at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, as we break down the final episode. We're going to talk about the winners, how we feel about it, how we feel about the season. We're going to rate the season. We're going to talk about our favorite players. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join the 5 p.m.ers Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a good time. Also, go and check out yesterday's Survivor premiere episode recap. Kylie did it with Sheldon
and
Josh as they broke down the Survivor episode yesterday. And then join us going forward on Thursdays as we break it down the day after the episode. Kylie, what else we got going on?
Once again, when we reach 250 subscribers, we will be giving away a signed golden power of veto.
So like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Thank you for joining us. You can find me at KG Fury on all social media platforms. You can find Kylie at reality_TK. There you go. And Ryan has no socials, so don't look for him at all.
Watch Big Brother Maryland on YouTube. First 3 episodes are on right now. It's spicy. It's heated. It's free. Watch it.
There you go. Check that out. Thank you for joining us. And coming to you from outside of the Big Brother house, make sure the cookout is on your TV screens every year. Good night.